slightly. But what would be the strategy?
Well, look at that.
Whoa.
I don't know about advantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
my goodness.
You know,
This is so
and that's the
dangerous
thing,
right
you know,
now.
we watch these things, and it is very dangerous. And you know, we kind of try to put it into those kind of ideas or that perspective of, you know, advantage, disadvantage, good guy, bad guy type of scenarios. And you know, it's very dangerous. It's actually dangerous for the civilians on the road as well. You saw that weaving it right between those cars right there, threading the needle. And again, you know, people trying to get out of the way. It's packed. You're driving on the freeway. You're kind of grumpy about the, you know, your day. Now traffic, and then all of a sudden you got blinking lights, you swerve, who knows what's going to happen. It looks like we're staying on the 101 as we're starting to work our way out of the Studio City area into the Universal Studios area. Again, yet officer in that SUV really kind of making his presence known now that the traffic has lightened up a little bit. That might be one of those newer Ford Explorer specially equipped vehicles that the CHP just purchased. Again, though, you can see him basically tracking, keeping right up with this guy. And again, really kind of makes you wonder, that officer limited what he can do when he gets up next to him, but definitely making his presence known. And hopefully that command presence will register with this guy, and he'll basically just say, all right, I'm just going to pull over.
Well, you know, he really has command of the motorcycle. I think we can certainly say that he apparently has driven one before. I asked the question again about the overcoat because you wonder if this was his bike or if this was possibly a stolen bike.
Well, again, you know, those are the questions that we, you know, that officers are pondering as well. You know, they can run the plate, they can get an idea who that person is, but obviously you're not going to be able to make an identifying match of that person with a helmet and, as you say, that overcoat and etc. It almost does looks like some sort of superhero there with that leather coat flapping in the wind. But again, if this is a superhero, he's going to be a super villain because these officers definitely want this guy to stop. He's been disobeying all the traffic laws pretty much for most of the afternoon here, and again, really starting to speed up. We're doing a lot of swerving around out here, and you know, again, the faster this happens, the higher the odds that this is going to end poorly.
And Stu, I'm sitting here saying to myself, why isn't traffic like this when I'm on the road? It appears to be light to moderate. What do you see up ahead?
Actually, I'm just glancing up ahead as we're working our way through the pass out here, and it is just as you said. It's like pursuit traffic. It is moderate at best. If this was the afternoon that we were driving home, we'd be stopped bumper to bumper. This guy basically just working his way through this traffic. It is very light as we're working our way southbound on the 101 now, approaching probably the Highland Boulevard. Again, this guy really just booking along here, and officers from the CHP now falling back just a little bit, but you can see that one guy with that newer Explorer really kind of closing that gap and making his presence known to this guy.
And you know what? Pretty soon he's going to have a number of opportunities in terms of freeways. Stu, he's going to be approaching, well, the 110 freeway for sure. 5, he could be headed toward Pasadena if that's the case. So I'm sure they're pretty concerned about that, but I'm sure contemplating at the same time the different moves that he could make.
Well, you know, definitely. And you know, when traffic starts getting really thick out there, you know, a motorcycle always has a little bit of an advantage. But, you know, we've seen it where it is so bumper to bumper that even bikes get stalled out. Again, you kind of wonder if he's just going to stay here on the freeway. It almost seems like he's playing around with these guys. You know, he knows that they can't pit him. He knows that they can't bump him. So he's just going to just keep driving, staying just that one step ahead of him. Again, using just the freeway. He has not gotten off on the roads. It started on roads, and then it also kind of makes me think maybe he's got a destination. Maybe this is, you know, he is going someplace other than just eluding officers. We're staying here on the 101. He is kind of close to those lanes where you could jump off at any moment, and that really would be a disadvantage for that cruiser right there. But that cruiser basically just keeping pace with him. You've got to wonder, maybe he's using the loudspeaker down there and saying, hey, buddy, just pull over, just give this up, you know, stop now. Or if they're just sitting there with their sirens going and looking ahead, I'm almost shocked to say that it looks like the 101 wide open. I'm wondering if possibly concerned about the rider than you are with you. But yes, you're right. A lot of people, I hear that quite commonly. You're driving on the freeway, you got a bike right behind you, and then you don't know what you can do. too. I mean, if you pull over, he could be contemplating going the other direction. It is very scary. And then this guy, you got to add in, he's got lights and sirens. And again, I have to let you know right now as we're approaching Vermont, the freeway is basically getting stopped. Now we're really starting to see that traffic that we are so common to seeing out here in the Los Angeles area. And now it is really starting to back up out here. And the officers had that little bit of advantage there. They're going to lose that now as we're starting to get into some heavy traffic.
Well, yes, you know, as Pat pointed out, when they're lane splitting and firing along like that, I don't care how many times it happens to you, it's always startling as a driver of a vehicle.
Yes.
And again, you know, he might be thinking right now he got it made, running a red light, not very wise. I can tell you just because I read the street sign, that was Indiana that we just crossed. But again, in a residential area out here and still eluding LAPD and other officers.
He's got it. Yeah,
there he
There
goes.
he goes, right here.
Yep. Looks like he's basically running into his house. You can see somebody else over there basically grabbing the bike for the guy. Basically just went into the home. I want to keep an eye on this guy with the motorcycle as he kind of puts it away. You know, again though, dropped the bike, ran underneath these trees into that home. Again, officers from LAPD, CHP, not quite here yet.
Well, you know what's interesting is apparently not, because most of the people, if you noticed how slowly they were walking, those pedestrians trying to walk across the street, I mean, they couldn't see. Now, what is this about?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I have no idea if these people know this guy or are related to him. Yeah, basically, this guy just came and grabbed the helmet and is walking off. And,
but you know what,
they're
Stu?
basically doing.
Don't want to interrupt you, but Steve, that might be him. Didn't he have on a black and white checkered shirt and some white gym shoes? He looks like he took off the coat, Stu.
You know, I think this is the other guy. I think this is the guy that basically put the motorcycle away after he dropped it.
No, there was a gentleman walking out with a young person. The young person was holding something to his face, and this guy had a black and white checked shirt on and some white gym shoes, and it looked like it could have been the guy on the bike. He just took off the overcoat.
All right. You know, yeah, it could be. It could definitely be. You know what?
That's your reward, Stu, for helping move the motorcycle into the garage.
That's the helper.
Yeah, that's the helper right there. That other guy basically just walked off. You know, I'm getting some direction.
Go ahead, and look around for him. That may have been the guy.
With the young person.
Exactly, who did have something up to their face.
Yes.
That's him, isn't it?
Looks like it. Black and white shirt, white shoes.
Yeah. Dark pant.
Hang on just 1 second here. I'm having a little difficulty holding this shot because we were set up for the other thing, but we'll definitely try to keep an eye on this guy right here. Again, hang on just 1 second. All right.
Yeah, that's no problem. We can still see him. You're keeping him in. You're doing a good job.
Yeah. It looks like he's going to be going behind a building here. It looks like we're working our way out towards a mall. Going to keep an eye on him, like you said. This could very well be him. Just walking along here, nothing to see here. I had nothing to do with that, is probably what he's saying to himself, but we might know different out here. I'm wondering if somebody is going to be able to notify the LAPD CHP about this as we're working our way. I don't want to lose him behind this tree. I'm working with my pilot. Again, there he is. That's him, right? Yep.
Yeah,
that's him.
And it is, you know, maybe he's just out for his afternoon walk, but very unusual behavior as this thing came to an end and he just kind of happened to be walking away. So we're going to keep an eye on this guy out here, and as soon as we are able to give you a cross street, which we might be able to do here very shortly, we will. But definitely, you kind of have to wonder, that younger woman just kind of disappeared. This guy is here all by himself, just walking along now.
Well, even if we, as we will shortly, play back the video of him walking back out of that home or wherever he was, there was this person here with a young
Whittier
person
and DeLamo.
With something up to their face.
Lama and Whittier.
And it certainly
I'm just
looks like.
I'm just working with my pilot who's actually talking
with the shirt on. If
other
anybody else, if they can hear us, Paul and Steve, with the black and white gingham shirt, the white gym shoes. It's interesting that that person emerged from that home, right, with this check shirt on and these white shoes.
I thought he was going to surrender.
Yep. And,
I thought
he's walking on Whittier. Walking on Whittier, and he passed Alama right there. And looks like he's going to start walking down, kind of staying off the major now. So.
And Stu, what were you saying about working with the pilot to
Whittier? Yeah, I actually was working with Dan, my pilot, this afternoon, and he's passing along this information to other helicopters, officers out here to give them the location. Looks like he's he's not walking into the auto zone, but he's on Whittier. Definitely walked into the auto zone on Whittier. That's basically where he went to. Just walked into there. I'll get you that cross street right here in a second, but definitely we're at the corner of Whittier and Indiana. There's a officer right there. Whittier and Indiana walked into the. There we go. They're working their way over there right now. So. Well, Pat Ball, we're going to find out very shortly if this guy was involved in this pursuit. Yeah. If this was, it was a very clever play and an excellent try. I got to give you that. This probably is one of the endings that has given me more thought, than just dumping and running. We're going to keep an eye on the back of the store as well. Maybe do an orbit here. To keep an eye on the front and the rear, but you can see officers swarming this auto zone right now as they're looking for that suspect.
He must watch a lot of crime procedurals. Maybe he figured that one out, because that was what do you call that, Steve? Is that a bait and switch? I don't know, but he apparently took off that overcoat very quickly and walked out with someone else. It almost, to me, looked like he was trying to appear that he was giving aid to that young person, but was able to walk away. But now he's surrounded. They seem to be have him in custody.
Yeah. Leave it to CBS 2 legal analyst Steve Meister, to astute person and a critical observer of people, to figure out that was him walking away. Steve, thank you very much.
Don't tell him my name.
Well, he might ask you to represent him anyway.
That you can know my name for. Then you can know my name. It's not where I live.
Well, Hollenbeck LAPD definitely talking to this gentleman right now. They're going to take him into custody and definitely have some questions for him, that's for sure. But it's most bizarre ending to a pursuit that I've seen in a long time, that's for sure.